Lights on, phone on airplane mode, and let's go. So, welcome my tigers to today's video. It's Alex here, as usual, from Tiger ADA. If you're new to the channel, in this video, in my channel, the videos are strictly about you improving as a man in all different areas of your life. And I'm not speaking about fitness and all the material, all the surface-based areas of your life. I'm speaking mostly about your psychological, your well-being, your philosophy about life, your way of thinking. Because in my opinion, I strictly believe that you can change your outside circumstances by changing your inner world. I think this is the most important thing, and trust me, for many years I've tried to change my outside circumstances only by acting on the outside world and not changing anything that is inside. But later on I realized that the inside world is much more important, much more deeper and much more complex, and we can contemplate and speak about it a lot every day for years and we can still not understand it. But this is where the key to all success is hiding. This is the key inside of us, and that's why in today's video we're going to speak about flexing. If by any chance you don't know what is this world, it's the original world is like flexing a muscle, extending something, but in the slang it means that bragging or showing off. Bragging or showing off. So flexing is basically what I mean when you see the rappers in the videos that they flex with their money, with their bitches, with their cars. This is basically flexing. So it's bragging with something, showing off with something. And there is a very big difference between just saying that you have something, just acknowledging that you achieved something, and flexing. Because flexing, what's the difference? Flexing is that this thing is out of context sometimes. This thing is not asked about. It's just saying these things in order to get something back. In most cases it is approval, and this is a realization I had while I made the video about the 13 ways I seek approval. You can watch it. I'll put one card here or there, I don't know where it is. And that's why I always tell you, my tigers, that when you're thinking, when you're in a conversation or in something that I'm doing, speaking to the camera and contemplating, that's when you receive your genius ideas. That's when you realize these things about yourself. That's why it's very important. The videos, at least that's how I want my videos to be. Just straight up contemplation, just straight up thinking, no fancy edits and some dragons here and some fancy music or stuff like this. Just pure wisdom, like my friend Nasco says. Just pure concentration on knowledge, on self-realizations, on self-thoughts, this kind of stuff. So flexing is, from my realization, just to think of course I struggle with this as well, and I'll tell you in which areas. But in my opinion, flexing is just another way to cope with the hole that you have in yourself. You're trying to fill the void that you have in yourself by flexing, and therefore receiving the validation of other people. Because if it was not for these guys, why would you even brag about something? It's very popular. I've heard many girls say, not only in real life but on the internet, that they don't like when a man goes on a date, they start to brag about his accomplishments, his job, his salary, his cars, his toys, his assets. They don't like it, not only because women are crazy, but it's for a different reason. People don't like it in general, at least about these things. It's not only because women are crazy, but this thing in general is because people don't like when other people brag and people show off their assets or their skills. Because think about it in this way. Let's give it an example. You go out with a guy, you meet him for the first time, as friends, boy, man, and he tells you, oh yeah, I have this business, bro, I'm earning 10k a month, I'm driving this car, just flexing. You can feel that he's flexing and he's trying to get your validation. On the other hand, imagine the guy with the same assets, with the same accomplishments, with the same salary or income, but he doesn't say anything about it. So your friendship develops, and let's say you know each other for 1-2 months, let's say, and then you realize this guy has an amazing whip, amazing car, and then you're like, whoa bro, you didn't tell me about this car. And he tells you, yeah bro, it's not a big deal, I just worked for it and I got it. Then the difference between these two situations is that in both situations the guy has a nice car and a lot of money, But in the first situation, he is bragging and he's trying to get your approval. In the second situation, the guy is just humble about it, and you gain so much more respect for him because he doesn't live for your opinion. He doesn't have this car just to impress you. He doesn't say it just to impress you. He just has it because he's worked hard for it, and it shows many more qualities. And I am not sure that I'm explaining it in the right way, but the quality that we should be striving towards is humility, is the skill of being humble, is the skill of working hard, having accomplishments, having high income, but at the same time being humble about it. Because when you're humble about something and when you're not flexing, what this says about you internally is that you don't care about the approval of other people. You're not doing your actions just to seek their approval. And you may think that this is not a big deal to flex here and there, but trust me when I say that our actions and our thoughts, they determine our subconscious and our way of thinking and everything. So when we are flexing, when we are showing off, we show to ourselves, to our inner self, that we are not good enough, and therefore we need to fill our void inside of us with something. Whether this is approval, whether this is material stuff, whether this is nice opinion about you, whether that is a smile or a particular look in the face of people when you tell them. On the other hand, when you develop the habit of not flexing, of not showing off, or not trying to get other people's approval, that's when you show your real self, your inner self, that you are worthy the way you are. And this, guys, I don't know if you realize how powerful this is, but this is the secret to self-love. Stop trying to fill these voids inside of yourself. Stop trying to put these conditions on you to love yourself. For example, if I go out with some new guys and I need, the key word is need, to get their approval. I need them to like me. Yeah, it's not, I'm not saying you should be some sociopath or some antisocial guy that doesn't care about other people's approval and opinions. This is human nature in the end of the day. But what I mean is that you can get their opinion and their validation without seeking it, without having the intention to take it, because that's how paradoxically things happen. When you don't seek the approval of other people, when you're just yourself and maybe put these things, for example, that you have a nice car, in the conversation naturally, or if somebody's telling you, what are you driving, what do you drive, and you're telling, yeah, I drive Mercedes-Benz, let's say, some basic thing, I'm not a car guy anyways, but yeah, I'm driving Mercedes-Benz. Stop until here. And also, it's not so much what you say, it's how you say, because you can obviously say these things because they are the truth. But it's about your intentions behind your words, because you can say, yeah, bro, I drive this Mercedes-Benz, yeah. You know, in a flexing, you know, in a braggadocious way, like Donald Trump says. But you can just say, yeah, I'm driving Mercedes-Benz. And just being humble about it. Because that's who you are, because the car doesn't define you. And even if you're driving a Lada, or Dacia, or Ford Fiesta, something like this, it still doesn't affect your value. And this is something that we all need to understand, that these material things don't affect our value as people, because all of us have our internal value. And I don't know if you believe in God, but God created us by His own image. If you make this analogy between the Bible and what I'm talking about, because they are different things. You can believe in either one or the other, or you can believe in both, but it's still the same thing. We have our internal value, and generally speaking, we don't need anything else from the outside for us to feel happy. But our human conditioning is this, that we always chase something outside of us in order to feel happy. But you probably had some goal, you probably had some desire or some materialistic thing that you wanted to buy. And what happens after you buy it? You feel nice for how much? 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe 1 day. And then what comes after? You're looking for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And you go in this cycle where you're looking always for the next things in order for you to feel happy, in order for you to feel fulfilled. When in the end of the day, happiness is inside. And I'm not the first one that is saying this, obviously. But there are many people outside living in these third world countries, or living a worse life than you, but at the same time being happier than you, because they're not striving for this material or superficial things. And flexing, let's go back to the topic, is exactly this. Flexing is the act of seeking other people's approval by flexing your strengths, flexing your material assets. But you don't need this approval. You can have these things, and also there is a big trap that you can fall into, just chasing these things only because this is the trend, only because other people will think that you are a big deal when you have them. It's not, there is not anything but in chasing or in having goals about something, let's say achieving high income. But as long as it's in your heart, as long as that's what you want, and I'm making these videos because, guys, we need to be real to ourselves, and I'm making these videos kind of to trigger you sometimes, to go deeper into yourself and to understand why you act the way you act, why you say the words you say, and this way you can better understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, you can become a much more powerful person, because you can eliminate the things that you don't need in your life. For example, let me just have one sip of water. Guys, I've told you before, but here in my room I don't have AC. Outside is 35 degrees, here is probably 36, 37 degrees, but I just thought that it's better not to make a video shirtless. So I'm sweating like crazy, I need a lot of water. But yeah, anyways. This is something that I realized long ago, and this is about social media. If you didn't know, I deleted Instagram 1 year ago, I think, yeah, the summer, but last year. Because, I realized it long ago, then I went back and forth with it, but I realized that Instagram is a flexing machine. Apart from a dating website, it's another topic. Instagram is a flexing machine. So what are the people doing there? You go on Instagram and you see everybody's flex. That's how you get conditioned to also flex what you're doing. So for example, you go to the beach with your friends or some fancy beach bar and you just drink pina coladas. On Instagram, you take one selfie and you post it. Okay, there is nothing so wrong, and you may ask yourself, why is this such a big deal when you make a story having fun? Yes, guys, but please be real with yourselves, and please go back here in your head. Why are you doing this? What are you trying to achieve with this? Because let's say you go to the gym, you lift heavy weights. What are you trying to achieve with this? Or just get some muscle, maybe get some girls. 90% of guys are for girls, go to the gym. The same way, you post a story. Okay, yeah, you're having fun, but why are you posting this story? Can you go back in your subconscious and try to find the ultimate reason why you post this story? Would you post this story if there were no followers? Would you post this story if there were no girls watching your stories? Ask yourselves this question. Because when I asked myself these questions, I realized that I'm having an Instagram account only to get the approval of other people, only to flex and to get the validation and good opinion of other people. Only other people to think, yes, Alex is such a tiger, Alex is doing nice activities, or Alex is having such a nice life, oh, Alex is so pretty in this photo. I realized that this is an ongoing rigged game that you cannot win. Instagram is just this approval-seeking content machine that you get swirled into this vortex of approval seeking and approval getting. Because you watch stories from other people, you say to yourself, wow, they have such a nice life. Of course, this social media is a whole different, another big topic that you start to compare yourself to these other people, but that's not what I mean. I mean flexing. You see other people flexing because that's what really is. Flexing is showing off the best qualities, the best moments of your life. That's why people say, that's a flex, you flex your muscles, but in general, guys, you look like I do right now. That's how I look in real life. That's how I look flexed. It's kind of, there's a difference, because I look bigger when I'm flexed. What I'm trying to say, things are much deeper than that. It's kind of, I'm speaking a little bit metaphorically and not directly. Why I like making YouTube videos, to give you a distinguishing example. Because on YouTube, guys, I put no filters. This is me. This is me on my camera. This is how I look. This is how I stand. I cannot put any filters on me. I mean, I can, but I don't. That's how I look. That's how I talk. There are no edits. That's how I think. That's how my voice tone is. That's how my thought process is. And this is a nice way, in my opinion, to be a person on social media. Because, in my opinion, social media is an amazing tool to make a career out of it, of course in a good way, and to influence people in order for you to create a better world. Now, I've written on my phone some examples of how people flex, and the first one is muscles. So everything, guys, that's why I speak always everywhere, always changing the topic, always making some example here and there, because everything is connected. In life, everything is connected, guys. You cannot speak only about topic without mentioning the other things, because our psychology, everything is connected. So when I spoke to you about social media, YouTube and muscles, that's what I mean. I'll tell you one personal example. When I had social media, like every other guy, at least here in Bulgaria, you make a photo, something like this, you know, you flex your muscle. There is one hack that you just move your arm closer to your body, just so the fat can be pushed forwards and make your arm bigger. So think about how crazy it is. Okay, so make fun of me. Make fun of me. I go on the mirror for 10 minutes straight, making all these kinds of positions just so my hand can look bigger than it actually is in real life. And why do I do this? In order for me to get the approval of other people, maybe some girls like me. And look how stupid everything is, because people or these girls are going to like me because of something that in real life I am not. Something that in truth I am not. This makes me so mad, because me not so much anymore, but I know you guys use social media and you be real to yourselves, you spend so much time thinking about other people's opinions. You spend so much time trying to show what you're actually not, because if you showed who you are, you would show also your bad qualities. You would also show if you're 100% real on social media, like everybody nowadays says. You would also film yourself in your bed and you make a story and say, I didn't do anything all day. I was eating ice cream and watching Netflix. But what do we do on social media? You put our best selves. We say, oh, I hustle 24/7. You flex your car or something like this. And this is not who you really are. And when you abandon, like I spoke about in the previous videos, I highly recommend you to watch them. When you abandon, when you push away the side of you that is not perfect, the side of you that is bad in societal terms, then you love yourself halfway. Then you love yourself only when you're good, only when you look good, only when your hand is big, and only when you have money, only when you're on vacation, not when you're working, not when you're depressed, not when you're sad, not when you haven't been to the gym 2 weeks in a row. You love yourself only when you're strong, only when you're sexy, only when you're smart, only when you're rich. This creates a false and bad relationship with yourself. And when you have a false and bad relationship with yourself, you start to create this false and bad relationships with other people. And there is nothing wrong with showing your muscles. In the end of the day, this is your accomplishment. But guys, please, when you post these muscle videos, muscle photos, please go back to your roots. Please go back to your subconscious and ask yourselves, why am I posting my muscles? What am I trying to get with posting? Because in an ideal world, you wouldn't need to post anything. Because you would live in real life. And you wouldn't care what other people think. But, okay, at least when you do it, ask yourself, why? It's good, you have the accomplishment, you deserve it, but ask yourself why. And also another thing, it's more common with women, but it's also common with men. Why do you Photoshop your pictures? What kind of message are you giving to your brain? I'll tell you, you're giving the message that you're not good enough the way you are. And you need something external, you need to fake who you are. Because, let me tell you something, if you do this with the muscles, you're going to do this when you talk with other people. You're going to be fake when you speak. You're not going to be 100% you. It's a whole philosophy, that's why things are connected. The next thing, and I'm also, yes, it's girls, I'm guilty of this. Because I'm not so, of course I'm a materialistic person, we live in 21st century, I also have some capitalistic worldview, but at the same time, I'm not so much into these things. As I told you, I'm not so much of a car guy, I don't care so much what I wear. This t-shirt is like 7 or 8 years old. It's not that I don't care completely, I realize we're humans, but I don't care so much, and I've never had problem to flex, by flexing these material things. I don't care about these things. But I had problems with girls, and let me tell you this, I told you in the approval seeking video, I've always had but I'm real to myself, guys, and I want you, please, to be real with yourselves too. I want to give you an example. So I always had this void inside of myself that I'm not good enough for girls, I don't get enough girls, I always wanted the attention of girls, having something with girls. And this was the thing that was in my mind. So you can see the pattern. I had this void inside of myself. I thought the moment I have a girlfriend, my life will be fixed. I thought the moment I have these girls, for example, attention, I'm going to feel finally complete and full in myself and my love to myself. And these are things that I realize now, a little bit wiser, I would say, 22 years old, at this modest age. But back then, that's what I was chasing, that's what I was after. On Instagram, I was doing things just for girls. I was posting muscle pictures, six-pack pictures, just to get the approval of girls, just to have some text with girls, just to have some attention with girls. And for a long time also sex included. I'm not ashamed to share this, I shared this in the previous video. I was pretty much a virgin until 21 years old. I did here and there the other things, let's say sexual things with girls, but to have a proper sex, yes, until 21 years old. And after that, when I got my first serious girlfriend, everything became a flex for me, guys. Every time we're in the conversation, we were speaking with my boys about sex, I was always bringing this topic up, always bringing some examples, because I felt like I have the internal need that I need to say these things in order for me to finally feel this void inside of myself. I always thought that girls are going to feel the void inside of me. That's why I was flexing about girls. And it's not only me, it's also another guys I see on social media and in real life who say, yeah, I had this girl, yeah, I had this bitch there, oh, I had 3 side bitches, oh, I'm fucking so much, oh, I cannot hold this anymore, I fuck so much, I don't know what can I do. All this kind of stuff, guys, it's pure flex. But you need to understand, you need to catch yourself. But for this you need to be aware. You need to catch yourself when you flex and realize why are you flexing. What void are you feeling in this moment? Because it's not only about muscles, it's not only about girls, it's also about money and materialistic things, which is probably the biggest flex. You see many guys on social media flex, and it's not that it's nothing wrong, but it's partly wrong. Of course, if you have an achievement, of course, why not? But just think about the thought process of you shooting something, you know, shooting a video or making a photo of something, instead of trying to enjoy it in the real world. Because this is also another paradox that I don't understand. It's very nice to have photos and videos, it's very nice to keep the memory, yes, I agree. But at the same time, have you noticed the guys that go in the restaurant and order some nice dish, and then before they eat it, they make a photo and they post it on social media? Go back in time and think about your happiest moments when you were with your friends and you were only talking or maybe drinking something and speaking some funny things and you were laughing your asses off. Did you think about other people's opinions? Did you think about your phone in this time? I would say no. I mean, if the moment was really, really fulfilling and inspiring and happy for you, you wouldn't think about your phone. You wouldn't think about getting out your phone and starting to record a video of you and your friends laughing. Because in the end of the day, this photo making, this video shooting, it's for other people, it's for their approval, it's a flex, look what life I live. And you go into this, I would say, rat race, even though people use rat race for the financial race, but you go into this rat race when you subconsciously compete with other people who has a better life. And guess what, guys? Nobody's life is perfect or like this. Everybody's life is like this, but subconsciously when you start to shoot videos and make photos of your best moments, then it means that you're disregarding your bad moments, you're disapproving of them, and you don't love yourself when you're in the bad moments. But this is part of life. Me and you guys, we are human. We have bad qualities, we have good qualities. And we need to start enjoying them both. We have bad moments and good moments. And we need to start enjoying them both. Because otherwise, we would live our life unhappy. Because the bad moments are at least 50% of the time. At least. And by flexing, what you're trying to do is you're telling yourself, I am worthy enough only if I show the other people my good qualities. Because, yes, I was thinking before making this video one very straightforward example. Even if you don't follow football or soccer in the UK, in the USA, you probably already know Leo Messi is the best football player of all time in my opinion, and I'm a Ronaldo fan. The guy, guys, I don't want to pull out any statistic, but the guy is earning hundreds of millions a season, probably 200 million, 300 million, something along these lines, and everything in total with sponsorships, $1 billion per year. $1 billion. This guy's a billionaire, he's just kicking ball. But I've never seen this guy on social media flexing his houses, flexing his cars, not some paparazzi taking photo of him casually driving his supercar. I'm saying flexing his cars, making stories, or making stories like this with cash. On the other hand, I think the ultra shitty, disgusting, and degenerate Western society of American rap and hip-hop culture, the rappers, what are they doing? All the videos with 20 bitches with their asses shaking on some nice cars, you know, doing with money, you know, showering themselves with money, having 20 cars in the garage. It's all flex, guys. It's all a fake persona, it's all a facade. These guys flex so much because they base their internal value on this money. And there have been many cases where they get exposed that they are renting these cars. Of course, paying to these girls, this is obvious. But also, this being fake money. Why is this flex for? Go deep into your subconscious and think about these things. Okay, not for yourself, because it's harder to take a look at yourself. Think about these rappers. Think about all these guys that are flexing. Because Cristiano Ronaldo has 20 supercars in his garage, but have you seen him make a story of them? Yes, they ask him interviews. Yes, when they offend him, he says, yeah, I have 20 cars in my garage. But have you seen him make stories or speak out of context about these things? Because this is another thing. When you speak out of context, you're trying to bring this topic up because you feel internally that only when you say this, you get the validation of other people. That's a crazy long topic, guys. Everything comes together. All of my videos are kind of connected. Because the principle is the same. If you don't feel worthy enough, if you don't feel like you have internal base value in yourself, you're trying to get the validation of other people. You're trying to get the approval in an external and an unnatural way. By flexing, by bragging, by showing off. You don't have to show off, guys. And you can still accomplish things without flexing, that's very obvious. But I'll tell you one secret: when you accomplish things, but when you stay more humble about it, and when you let other people find your successes, this creates a bigger effect that you might initially chase. Because in the beginning, you chase validation, right? That's why you do everything for. But if you don't flex, and you let people find it themselves, it's crazy and it's a paradox, but people will give you 10 times more validation. Because not only you have this thing, which by the way doesn't define you, you also gain their respect for your internal qualities as being humble and not caring so much what other people think. It's a very powerful paradox, and I want you to think about this video, everything I said in this video. But flexing is for losers. If you had something and you didn't flex about it, then it means that you don't care. Because for you, I'm 100% sure that there are some things about you that you have that are kind of good accomplishments, that a skill of yours, but you decide to stay humble about it. Do you flex that you brush your teeth every day? Yeah, no, probably no. Some people, yes. But do you flex that you go to the gym? Probably yes. Why? Ask yourself this question, why? I'm not here to tell you. You find the answers yourselves. But when you ask yourself this question, why, you may realize that you're flexing just to get other people's opinion. Because the things that we are already good at and we are already confident and we don't need any validation, we are not going to flex them. It's only the things that we feel a void inside of ourselves, like I told you, with the girls. Only these things and nothing else. So look back at the times you were flexing. Look back at the things that you want to talk about and you brag and show off about. These are your weaknesses. These are the voids, and you need to let go. You need to let go of the need to have these things. You need to let go of the thought that these things define you, that without these things you're not worthy and you're not a valuable person. Because everybody, me and you guys watching, everybody is a valuable person in an internal level. You need to realize this ASAP and start living your life in this way. For me, it was absolute pleasure to share this video and these thoughts with you guys. I hope you had some values, and as usual, I'll see you in the next one, and stay tigers.